Hello, my friend. Welcome to live chat. Okay, so this is what happened. I wrote the script and I looked over the script for What's Up in Makeup that just went live. And I was editing and realized that there was more to the story having to do with Lashify, thanks to Jennifer Wynn, who was the person that I clipped in that video. So Jennifer went over more of the story that had happened over the past couple days that I did not see. And I want to talk about that in live chat today. I also want to talk about Sahara, the CEO of Lashify, and her apology. Here's the road so far. This is in case you didn't watch What's Up in Makeup. So apparently, what we know that Sahara Lotti from Lashify has shown herself to not be a very nice person. She has said what I believe is homophobic things in the past. Kind of a lot of people believe that they're homophobic. She's that person. You know what I'm saying? The person that like just says offensive things and doesn't understand why it's offensive. And you'll see that. Like she's just that person and will double down because she doesn't understand and she doesn't listen kind of thing. And I empathize because I used to get defensive over things like that in my past. Maybe not this situation, but like I like anyway, there are a lot of people out there that just are stubborn about listening to people who tell you that what you're saying is messed up. And you'll have to tell me what you think, especially if you're part of the affected group, what you think about Sahara's apology and whether you think it's genuine or not. But she's just mean. That's the thing. That's the thing is she's just mean. She's not nice at all. She's brutal. And like you'll see in a second. So she had the conflict with Manny MUA where she was like, he's just a dude. She was mad at him because he reviewed her false lashes. And he wasn't real careful about the way he reviewed them. And instead of, just trying to work it out with Manny behind the scenes, she just went after him and was like, no matter what, you're still a dude. And that was not okay. She also put up a post that was along the same lines, like a visual post. She does a lot of the posting on Lashify social media. And she says that she does. That's how we know that she's doing it, is because she says that it's her. So there was that. And then there was the issue with Bethany Frankel, who was on Real Housewives. She's really big over on TikTok, mostly reviewing products. And she reviewed ProLash, which Lashify is currently actively suing, gave ProLash a positive review. Lashify, Sahara, reaches out to Bethany and is like, hey, I'm going to sue you. Like, what? So that was a thing. And she's just overall just shown herself to be just really nasty. So this developed more, and some things were uncovered from Lashify's social media from a couple of years ago. And now Sahara is addressing it. So I wanted to go over it with you and see what you all think. I also felt like this was, really timely. Like I need to add on to What's Up in Makeup today, because there are things that happened that after What's Up in Makeup today happened, and I want to make sure that you all know about it. So yeah, it's kind of a mess. But before we get into all of it, let's just quickly say hello to the people that are here live in the collective brain of makeup awesomeness, people that are going to help us with this live chat. Thank you so much for being here. So we're going to talk to Abrielle. Good morning, Jen. Ready for live chat? Still riding high off telling my family, my partner and I expecting yesterday. Congratulations. That is so exciting. Your life's about to change forever, puppy. That baby's going to change your life forever. Because even when they turn 18, your life is going to change. And my life changed very much for the better when I had kids. So it's hard, though. It's hard, but for me, it's been 100% worth it. So congratulations. So happy for you. Good morning, Tish. So good to see you. Good morning, Teresa, and the rest of our moderator team, Flory, Steph, and Audra. Thank you for being here to help us have a nice, safe place to chat. I heard there was a little bit of a weirdness last week at the end of chat. Yeah, if someone just comes in and starts like going off at the mouth, just let the moderators handle it. They're really good at what they do. And if the moderators ask you to do something, if you could listen to them, that would be fantastic. It's not that deep. Just, they know the rules. They know how to calm things down. If they ask you to do something, if you could listen to them, that would be fantastic. Because I heard the end of live chat. It was a little wild last week. So thank you, moderator team, for being amazing. Daniel, good morning to you. Hot and humid Houston. Oh my gosh, I can only imagine. Jennifer, good morning. Happy Sunday to you. Sorojan, happy Sunday to you. Good to see you. Tracy, so good to see you. Good morning. That's a new picture. I love it. Very cute. Ginger, good morning to you. And Anna, no work today, so I'm here to listen while I'm cooking dinner. Oh, very nice. How's everyone from wet and gray Ireland? It's a little wild here in the US, a little wild, but we're making it. We're making it one day at a time, one day at a time. Ms. Lavender, good morning to you, and Sophia. And if I did not say good morning to you, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so now that we know what has happened so far, let's talk about what's happening now. Thank you to Jennifer Wynn for putting all of this up on her TikTok. Her TikTok is linked down below. We're going to use her as a base for this information. So we're going to watch Jennifer's videos. We're going to talk about it, and then we're going to watch Sahara's apology and what we think about what's going on. So I'm going to put my handy dandy headphones on while we watch Jennifer's update. So all of this stuff came out after the things that I talked about in What's Up in Makeup today. So this one, I believe, is the first one.
Oh my gosh, if this is not racism to Lashify, then I don't know what is. Meet Shannon and meet Shanae. When you stack your Lashify lashes and get a little carried away. Hashtag alter ego. Oh my gosh. Shout out to all the creators who sent me this picture. Apparently this was posted in April of last year, 2024. And today, June 2025, Lashify releases a statement saying that they're dealing with You Cool Me affiliates who are trying to defame them and their relationship with the Black community. And that the accusations are entirely false and lack any supportive evidence. Yeah, there's no evidence at all. There's no evidence. The truth is not hard to find. You're right, the truth isn't really hard to find. Because what is this? But I'll just leave this here. I'll just leave it here. I'll also leave this here too. And I'm just going to leave this here as well. Just not race. There's no racism here. I don't see any racism here at all.
Okay, so the last section was when she was talking about Sahara says something about that she created these lashes, not some imaginary Chinese people. That she created the manga lash, stuff like that. And that's part of what we talked about because we showed the clip from Jennifer in What's Up in Makeup. So if you don't know about the Shanae reference, so that was originally from a show called Martin Lawrence, who is a Black man, created this stereotypical Black woman character named Shanae, and just followed a lot of, from what please correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of Black women do not like the character of Shanae. Not a fan of her because it does reinforce stereotypes. After Martin did Shanae as a character, she was a well-known character on Martin. Shane Dawson made his own version of Shanae, but it was Shane Nene, and Shane Dawson is a white man, and it was a stereotype of a Black woman, and that was very often called out as being racist. That wasn't one of the times when he did blackface, but it was pretty awful. So to have the person on the right side of this, the lashes on the right side of the screen being really big, I'm assuming what she's trying to say is that Black women's lashes are too big and fake looking, which of course is disgusting. And gross, and also the reference of Shanae. It's just awful, and I don't know how we missed that. Like I don't remember hearing about that in April of 2024, so I don't know what happened. Felicia says Shanae was your stereotypical hood chick. Yes, thank you for that. So yeah, I mean, it's awful. It's absolutely awful, and this was in 2024. It's not like this was in 2008 or 2009 or something where, even then, of course, there's no excuse for it. But there's so much awareness out there now. There's so much discourse out there now. There's really no excuse. There's really no excuse. Tracy says, yes, a lot of people identify Black women as sassy, loud hood woman, which is not okay. Reinforcing stereotypes is not okay. So that's something that happened. And what Jennifer is saying is that, let me take these off for a second. So Lashify is suing You Cool Me, which is a Chinese lash brand, for copying her technology. And what Sahara is saying, what Lashify is saying, is that the people who were the affiliates for You Cool Me that are upset because Lashify is suing them and got You Cool Me shut down. People that are affiliates of You Cool Me were naturally upset that You Cool Me was gone. They're affiliates of them. So Lashify is accusing these affiliates of going after Lashify for no reason because they're mad that the company they're affiliated with, that Lashify, shut them down. Hopefully I'm making sense. So yeah, so that's kind of the history and the discourse on that. Black Athena says Shanae was a joke that became more problematic when it went outside the community. Yeah, I think it's one of those things, at least this is the way it's been explained to me. Again, please correct me if I'm wrong. You can make fun of your brother, but no one else can make fun of your brother. Like Martin was targeted toward a Black audience. So I think, from what I've heard, it was more funny because it was like we're kind of making fun of ourselves, but then when other people appropriate that and take that, it's like, huge side eye. Divatron 3000 says, I feel like that could also be viewed as a drag type character name with big lashes, etc. So homophobic instead. Great. Yeah, I don't know if that was the intention, as far as like it being a drag character, because Shanae is really specific. Like really specific. That is like a well-known character, Shanae. And based on Sahara's age, I imagine she's around my age, mid to late 40s. That was a popular show when we were younger. Like I don't know anybody my age that's never heard of Martin and has never heard of Shanae. Like maybe I'm sure there are people that didn't watch Martin, but she should know Shanae. I don't believe that she didn't know the Martin reference. That's just personally. I mean, it's definitely possible. I don't know what's in her head, but Sorojan says, I just know that Sahara's personal algorithm is exactly like your problematic uncle at Thanksgiving. That is an excellent way to say it. Okay. Let me see if I'm missing anything else. Felissa says, honestly, when brands or people that represent them show you who they are, they really are. It is for the best. One less company to shop from. Yeah, I mean, you gotta figure out where you want to shop, and this is just evidence of that. But I do want to get to the next thing that Sorojan. Oh my gosh, Sorojan, that Jennifer said. So let's play her next clip. Let's go over here and we're going to this one because we have 4 clips all together. So that's the first one.
Lashify released a statement regarding defamatory content, but let's not forget, creators are just calling them out for their racist comments. No defamation here. You guys are doing it to yourselves. Apparently this is addressing the anti-Black microaggressions. I just made a video about how they're racist towards the Asian community. I mean that they're the creator of manga lashes and they're not the Chinese bootleg. Meanwhile, their warehouse is in China. And now the Black community too? Like, this just keeps getting worse. So they're anti-Asian and anti-Black too? Like, what is going on? They said, it has come to our attention that a few influencers affiliated with You Cool Me are circulating fabricated and defamatory claims about Lashify, specifically targeting the brand in its relationship with the Black community. These accusations are entirely false, lack any supporting evidence, and appear to be designed purely to incite outrage and drive engagement through misinformation. We strongly encourage anyone engaging with this content to conduct their own research. The truth is not hard to find. Lashify is a woman-founded, minority-owned business that has built a reputation for innovation, transparency, and inclusivity. This situation has escalated beyond the realm of opinion. While free speech and differing perspectives are protected, intentionally falsifying narratives with the goal of damaging a business crosses to serious legal territory. Lashify will be pursuing all appropriate legal remedies. Are they going to be suing influencers too? So when are they going to speak out against racism against the Asian community? When are they going to do that?
Okay, so it was basically that just seems like it was just that was just like an add-on to the last post because the last post on her TikTok has like 2.2 million views. Like it blew up pretty hard. So it's just a little bit more information about that. And I couldn't see in the last one where she said she might be suing influencers. She said she was going to sue Bethany Frankel for reviewing ProLash. Like this woman, like I can't even. So it's just I guess it's just a little bit more information there, but I want to play you. Let's play the next one because that wasn't a whole lot more. But let's play the final one from Jennifer, and then we'll talk about it, and then we'll get into Sahara's apology.
Just when you thought Lashify only wanted us to meet Shanae, there's Cha-Cha too. Meet Charlene and meet Cha-Cha. I don't even know what this means. If you haven't previously seen this picture that Lashify posted before, where they said meet Shannon and then meet Shanae, when you stack your Lashify lashes and get a little carried away, hashtag alter ego, and how this is super racist, well, the Lashify founder, Sahara Lotti, is responsible for this marketing, unfortunately. And she has a Facebook group called Lashify Live where she vented on all the backlash she got for the ChatGPT generated post that she made. She said, I made these two hilariously silly AI images on ChatGPT. When you stack and get a little crazy, apparently they are racist, i.e. insensitive. I didn't get it. And people were telling her like, yeah, this is pretty racist. And she's like, okay, I get it now. I was so confused. I was trying to think of the name of Shannon and I made Shanae. ChatGPT did the rest. I do wish instead of being a-holes on the internet, people would educate and say, dude, you might not know this, but this can be offensive, and tell someone why instead of snickering to be mean. We're all here to learn and be better. The vulture thing is just too much. Either you're racist or not. But people say stupid stuff all the time. I'm not sure they always go hand in hand. This just tells me she needs an actual marketing team who would approve this stuff. I think it's crazy she posted an Asian AI generated woman while she's saying all these Asian microaggressions pertaining to lash clusters, claiming that Lashify has lash cluster patents. And now they're suing small companies like You Cool Me just because they're selling lash clusters, and that their product is not the Chinese bootleg, and that they were the ones who created manga style lashes, not the imaginary people in Asia. And they were saying stop trying to give credit to Chinese people for something an American immigrant invented. Meanwhile, they manufacture their lashes in a warehouse in China. So make all of this make sense.
Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? I was like, what? That's wild to me. This is something that I think that every person, I'm not going to clarify what people, we have to do our learning in private. You cannot ask on a public social media platform, you cannot do your learning in public. That is what it seems like was happening with her, is that she was asking her Facebook group to educate her on why she's being racist. And that is a bad idea. That's not a good idea, like at all. That's what I saw. And I was like, oh no, this is not good. Let me scroll up a little bit. Okay, let's see. Yeah, silent reader says, I've seen another promo of Meet Charlene and Meet Cha-Cha. Like, who is Cha-Cha? The only Cha-Cha I know is from Greece and I don't know what nationality Cha-Cha was supposed to be. But I feel like it was like Latina, like she was supposed to be Latina or something. I don't know. So, I see. Anna says, I'd imagine Black ladies feel the same as us Irish with the racist Irish stereotypes Irish Americans keep propagating. Yeah, I try really hard not to compare like what one group feels versus other groups. Um, but I would imagine it feels terrible. Dolphins Girl says, what is she going to do with when lashes go out of fashion again? Who's she going to sue then? I don't know. I guess she's just not going to sell as many lashes. Yeah, Mander says, remember, folks, it's only defamation if it isn't true. Very true. Very true. A lot of people scream defamation, but if it's true, it's not defamation. Yeah, absolutely. There is a clear pattern. And I think that's the problem, is that this has been going on for years of her saying insensitive things publicly, people telling her it's insensitive, her doubling down on being insensitive. And then when she realizes it's hitting the account, and a lot of people are telling her, she finally says, yeah, maybe that wasn't a great idea. But then she does it again and again and again and again. It's the same behavior over and over and over again. So it's like, what group is going to be next? Like, is she going to go after like Palestinians or something? Like, who hasn't she gone after yet? Surgeon says she really had a pair when she threatened to go after Bethany Frankel. Like, she's a gazillionaire. She probably has the most intense lawyers and money can buy. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Once a bigot, always a bigot. And that's what it feels like. Yeah. Adrian says, oh, she didn't even try to blame Chat GPT. Yeah, absolutely. Felicia, personally, I don't educate folks anymore. It's exhausting. I didn't go to university to be a dang teacher. At least teachers get the summers off. Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, there are people out there putting the information out there. It's just one thing that we've talked about a million times here on this channel is that you can only understand things from your perspective. It's not possible to understand something from a perspective of a life that you will never live, you will never experience it. So in order to understand it better, you have to make an effort. Like, you have to try and go out of your way to try to understand that life that you'll never live. Like, you can't just experience it, like, or hear this person or that person or whatever. Like, you have to go out of your way. And people just don't want to take the time, or they don't think they need to take the time, or they don't think it's important enough to take the time. It's not a priority. That's what it comes down to. We prioritize our time. And if it's important to people to understand and to try to hear stories from people that have different lives, whether it's, somebody that lives in Germany, or somebody that lives in Kenya, or somebody that lives in Australia, or somebody that lives in, rural China. If you want to know what it's like to live as that person, you have to search it out, is what I'm saying. So, and it's up to you it's up to the person as an individual to make that choice. It's not up to the people who are living that life to educate. And I think that's where it gets really frustrating for a lot of people, is people feel like they are owed that education. Well, if you don't want me to be racist, well, then tell me what I'm doing wrong. I'm sorry, what? No, instead, how about you go out and you look and find out why what you did was racist. You do it. You go do the work. You go find the education. People are not owed you that education. You got to go do that yourself. And then if you have someone kind enough in your life, like I'm very thankful to have, ask them, hey, this is what I learned. Am I on the right track? That is a possibility as well, if you're fortunate enough to have people who can help you along your journey and that are willing to give you that energy. But strangers on the internet, absolutely not. Not even friends is not their responsibility. It's out of the kindness of their hearts. That's kind of been, I mean, we all have to go on our own journeys. Julie says you cannot act like that nowadays and be a brand owner. You just can't. And really, a lot of it shouldn't have ever happened. It shouldn't have ever happened. But I think that as we're more interconnected, we're learning more. People are like, oh, people can't take a joke anymore and blah, blah, blah. I think that it's just we're becoming more aware of other people's feelings because we're more interconnected and there's just more awareness out there. Back in 1996, when I graduated high school, the internet was just becoming a thing. I only knew the people that I was around. I didn't have access to all of that. Now there's no excuse. There's no excuse. Like, we're so interconnected. It's just about just taking the time. Yeah, Christina says she thought she could get away with it, but saying it, but it backfired. Even her own Facebook group said she was wrong. And I think maybe she thought she had something in her community that they would back her up, and they didn't, is what it sounds like. And Divatron says all those lawsuit millions, and she isn't using any of that money to employ anyone, apparently. Yeah, I mean, you would think that, this is why we need diversity, equity, inclusion specialists. That's not right. That's not what I'm talking about. This is not about DEI at all, because this is not that. I don't even know why I said that. This is why you need, like, sensitivity training, I guess, would be the thing. Sensitivity training. Like, I don't know what it is, because I don't know business. Like, what is it in the business world when you hire somebody to help you not be an asshole? Not be an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, what do you do? Like, there are people that you can hire to help you be more culturally sensitive. And she's gotten millions and tens of millions of dollars from these lawsuits when she's sued people and brands. So I don't know. Okay. All right. Let's scroll down a little bit. And then we're going to start. Actually, we'll take our break a little bit early and tell you what's on my face. And then we'll get into Sahara's apology for part 2. RJ, if a POC says you're saying or doing something racist, good chance you are. Do your own research as to why they don't owe it to you. Yeah, absolutely. And it's at least something to pause, at least something to be like, okay, I need to look more into this. I need to figure this out, and to take the time. Even if for some reason you're feeling super defensive and you think the person's completely off base, it's really worth looking into. Oh, okay. Taylor wants to know what happened to my marshmallow company. I closed it. Not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before, like the holiday before. It's just, I had to either choose YouTube or that, and I chose YouTube, is what the short of it is. I had a marshmallow company, if you don't know, is a little local farmer's market sold homemade marshmallow company for a period of time. And yeah, it was like I had to pick which one I wanted to do. I couldn't do both. So YouTube won. Yeah, Felicia says, we just need a huge masterclass on race relations. You know what? There are so many people on Threads. Like, there's a couple of Black women that I follow on Threads that is what they're doing over there. Like, that is their thing, is educating mostly white women on how not to be an asshole. If you look for it, I mean, it's not that hard to find. So, but anyway, okay, so let's talk quickly about what's on my face, very quickly. And the what's on my face is really just like me choosing things that I have that I'm just like, you know what, I want to use this today. So on my eyes today, I use a ColourPop that's taupe palette. I think this was set in PR, I believe. But this is a classic. Oh no, I purchased this. This was part of the Allie Glines collection. She like pulled some of her favorites together. And I bought this. So this is, that's taupe. And then on my lids today, and also my highlight, is the Pat McGrath highlighter in Divine Rose. I have neglected the heck out of this. And when I did my declutter, I rediscovered it. And it's so beautiful. I love it. It gives this like perfect, like summery, beachy, like golden glow. It's really, really pretty. And then blush this was set in PR. This was, I think, gifted to me by a subscriber. This is the masterclass by Jordan Liberty and Blend Bunny. This was sent in PR. I use this shade here called Safe Word, which has been my favorite shade in the palette for my skin tone. But you can see there's so many beautiful shades in here. I'm not sure if this is, I think this is still on pre-order for the restock. So if you were interested in this, it's freaking fab, man. And you can use these for eyeshadows. Also what I did was I used Safe Word, but then I also used the shade Illicit in the back here to give a little bit of a contour. I feel like that's kind of where we might be going with blush that I've seen more of, is people using multiple blush shades to create different effects. So I just used from here up this little bit deeper shade to give it a little bit more dimension over there. And I think it looks really pretty. I kind of love it. And this is a wonderful, wonderful quality palette, very pigmented. You kind of have to go in with a light hand, especially with the deeper shades, because it'll go straight to clown face if you're not careful. They're really pigmented. I would imagine even on very deep skin tones, if you still have to like go in with a light hand and build, because they're very, very pigmented. And then for my lips today, I just found this in my drawer. I have no idea where I got this. I've never really been on Tarte PR, so I must have purchased this at some point. This is the Maracuja Juicy Lip in the shade, I can't read it. I need to just get a dang magnifying glass, go to the Dollar Tree, get a magnifying glass, but it's my lipstick. And this is actually a really nice formula. It's very creamy, pigmented, feels good. I don't like that it doesn't click down, but dude, do I need to do the thing? I think I need to do the thing, because I don't think I'm going to be able to like... Okay, here we go. What the rose? There we go. It's in rose. That's what it says. I had to look through my phone, magnifying on my phone. So that is what is on my face today. All right. Hey, Jen. Jen says 50 months. Yeah, member for 50 months. That's probably since the very beginning of membership. Thank you so much. You're amazing. I use blush to make a pinkish contour. Yeah, I bet that looks gorgeous on you too. That's fantastic. Okay, so let's, no, you did not miss all the gossip, Gigi. We are still going because we're getting into the apology, which will kind of summarize the rest of it, because when she apologizes, actually, you know what I'm going to do? Well, see, it's like, okay, I'm going to do this differently because I want to be able to pause. And I've done this before. I keep forgetting which way I can pause, because when I upload it to my, streaming platform, which is called StreamYard, I can't pause it. But if I present it, then I can pause it. So we're going to do that instead.
Hello.
Oops,
My name is Sahara Lotti. I'm the founder, CEO of Lashify.
Stop. We're not ready for that yet. Okay. I'll just put that here. Okay. This is on TikTok. And let's do this, because she doesn't need to be that big. Okay. And let's watch the apology. Okay. Now, before I start this, I am all for apologies and change behavior. I've done it myself. Had to apologize for some BS, right? Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody does dumb shit sometimes, right? Some worse than others. I'm all about changed behavior. The problem with Sahara is that she has repeatedly done this for years without changed behavior. Is this the turning point for her? Is this the eye-opening moment? Is this when she will actually have changed behavior? We don't know. It is up to the individual person whether you care or not. After one mistake, 2 mistakes, 10 mistakes, everybody has to decide whether change behavior matters. The way that this matters for each of us as individuals is whether we would choose to buy Lashify based on her behavior and her choices. So I do think that it's important to listen to when someone apologizes, and you don't even have to listen, honestly. Who cares? If you don't care and the apology doesn't matter, it's not important to listen. But if you're interested in her apology and you're interested in her possible changed behavior, then this is going to be important. So we'll just have to see. But I just wanted to let you know before I start that I am all about apologies and then changed behavior. It's just the pattern for me. It's the apology, and then continuing to say insensitive things to various groups, not understanding why she said something insensitive, doubling down, having people like her Facebook group be like, dude, yeah, that was messed up. And then coming back and saying, oh, well, maybe I did mess up, over and over and over and over again, over a period of many years. Many years. Okay. She does not ugly cry. There is no tears, Louise. We're good there. Sorry to disappoint you. She does not ugly cry. There's no tears. Here we go.
Hi, TikTok. Hello. My name is Sahara Lotti. I'm the founder, CEO of Lashify, and I don't think that we've ever met. I haven't really spent a lot of time on TikTok. This is sort of a new experience to me.
Now, I want to stop for a second because the reason why she's doing this on TikTok, and she's right, she hasn't really been on TikTok. She's mostly doing Instagram lives. Her main platform is Instagram. So TikTok is where all this is blowing up, where Jennifer has 2.2 million views on her one video. This is all blowing up on TikTok, so that's why she's addressing it on TikTok.
Right now, there is a lot of conversation and discussion happening in regards to language, culture, identity, and myself. So let's just get into it. I wanted to take a moment to discuss some of the concerns that I have heard about through this community, and really address the things that are bothering you guys. The microaggressions. Thank you. Thank you for those of you that called me in, especially in a kind way, because I actually had no idea that I was being microaggressive. And what I realized, because I had to think about it for a minute, I really had to think about it. And what I realized is that this language, without a doubt, perpetuates harmful stereotypes, and I don't want anything to do with that. Listen, I can tell you wholeheartedly that that was not my intention, but it doesn't matter. What matters is the impact that it has.
She was trying to be funny. That was the intent. The intent was being funny, was using the name Shanae and very large lashes to be funny. That was the intent. Did she? I don't believe she doesn't know who Shanae is. I don't think she doesn't know. So that's the thing. Was she thinking in my head, oh, I'm going to be racist today? Probably not. But that's what happened. And she didn't take the time or care to think, maybe this might be racist. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. That's what I see. That's what I feel.
And that is the big thing that I always think that things happen for a reason, good or bad. There's a lesson in everything. And for me, the lesson was this intention versus impact, because my intentions are always good intentions.
Her intentions were to make people laugh at a woman with too big of lashes called Shanae. That was the intention. Yeah, Felissa says calling it a microaggression is being far too generous, maybe. Yeah. Kind of aggressive. It was kind of aggressive.
But the impact that it can have on different people is 100% irresponsible, and that's not even something I want to be a part of. And I deeply, deeply apologize to anybody that I offended via my tone or my use of language.
So at least she didn't say, I apologize for anyone. What's the one that people always do? And she says, I'm sorry you felt that way. She didn't say, I'm sorry you felt that way. She said, I'm sorry that I offended you. So that's good. But Halot's Brit. I'm going to say it like that. Hopefully I did okay. Does she think intent really matters here? No, she's saying that intent doesn't matter. But I feel like her intent wasn't nice. The actual intent of trying to laugh and thinking that was funny. I don't think that that was a good intent, you know?
Out the Shanae Shannon post, regardless of what it was inappropriate. And I take full accountability for that post. Comparing those names, again, perpetuates into really harmful stereotypes of Black women in the culture. And again, I don't want to be a part of that. So I was unknowingly, with a sense of humor or just sort of an ignorance all around, taking part in that. And I deeply apologize.
So ignorance, yes. I agree with her on the ignorance. I think she hit it on the ignorance. Absolutely. And she is apologizing. She's saying, I realize that was ignorant and I am sorry.
Deeply apologize to anybody that was impacted by that. That was something that was wrong. It should have never gone up. And 100% I understand. Now, on the topic of mango lashes and culture.
Okay. So is there anything else we want to say about that before she gets to the mango lashes? Apology is ick. All she cares about is the impact on her brand and her pocket. Definitely possible. Mander's ridicule as comedy is not the way to go. Absolutely. Tracy, she likes negative attention. It looks like she feeds off of it with the Bethany situation and race baiting. It does feel that way. Katana likes kittens. Walking in late. What racist foolishness is going on now? Jessica had said something earlier that I wanted to see if I find, because everybody was laughing at Jessica. Jessica says she's a rage baiting clout goblin, no real accountability. Yeah. I mean, I think she's doing the best she can to follow the apology script. She's already said she uses ChatGPT. ChatGPT will form an apology for you. If you type in, this is the situation, I need to apologize for it, it will write you a script. So it's possible. I'm not saying she did, because I have zero evidence of this. I'm not saying it did, but it's possible that she could have used ChatGPT to formulate an apology and is going off of that as a base for this apology. It's possible. I guess that's better than going off on her own. At least she's trying to say it in a good way, but it is possible. I guess it doesn't matter where you learn something as long as you're like doing the thing. Because I mean, she is doing the things that people have asked to do on apologies. You know, name the behavior, apologize for it. You know, take responsibility, all of that stuff. Say how you're going to correct it. We'll see if she goes there. I can't remember if she does or not. All right, she's going to go into the thing about the manga lashes and the stuff that she was saying against Chinese people.
Appropriation. I want to acknowledge that the words used could have been clearer. When I said manga lashes, that was poorly phrased. What I was referring to was DIY lash extensions, the segments, under lash segments that I created. Previous to Lashify, there was never ever a DIY lash with a spiky point like that. So that is what I meant by that. But let's make it clear that I did not invent strip lashes. I did not invent lash extensions. I did not invent flare cluster individual lashes. I did not invent magnetic lashes. But please note that the distinction matters. Those are all very different technologies. But bottom line is, the way that I said it might have come off as dismissive to others' contributions or efforts, and that is absolutely not what I meant. I also want to address the comment about imaginary Asian people and myself.
Oh man, where was I? Imaginary Asian people. Like, why would you even type that? Why would you even type that? Why would you type imaginary Asian people? Because she's basically trying to say that she invented something, not people, imaginary Asian people. It's like, why'd you do that? Why? Melissa says, I don't think she was ignorant of the stereotype. I think she knew what she was doing, just didn't think she would be called out to this level. Definitely possible. Okay, so what she's talking about as far as the manga lash is that she said, I don't know what her patents are in. I'm not an expert in, I don't know exactly what, I'm just going to say what she says she created. She says she created individual like cluster lashes that you glue on the underside of the lashes. Some of those cluster lashes are to a point, which is what she's calling a manga style lash. It looks similar to what you might see as lashes in manga. So she says that she invented the cluster lashes that go underneath that create that manga lash. That's what she's saying, the DIY. She's calling it DIY because they're cluster lashes that you can pick which ones you want to use. So if you want to use a longer point on the outside and then get smaller as you go in, or if you want them all to be the same, or if you want smaller on the in and out and then longer in the middle, that's what she's saying about DIY, is that you can choose how you want your manga lash to look because they're individual clusters that you glue underneath. That's kind of the background on that. So hopefully that was helpful to understand that, because I don't think she fully explains that. But I think to have any person that is not Japanese, yeah, I'm sorry, like hold on, say anything about inventing anything having to do with manga is not a good idea. Like don't do that. It's not like people were using my lashes for a manga look would be a statement, but to invent manga lashes is like, so, but she's apologizing for that. So
what I meant. I also want to address the comment about imaginary Asian people. That again goes back to intent versus impact. It really, what I was referring to was China in general, the country where things are getting made. But the way that I said it, once again, reinforced these really harmful stereotypes. Again, something I don't want to be doing. I 100% understand the impact, and I'm 100% committed to doing better. Because I have to be honest with you, I kept wondering, why do I keep getting in trouble for the way that I speak? Like I didn't.
the thing is people told her last time. People told her last time why she's getting in trouble for the way she speaks, because she's not being considerate of people that aren't her. She's not thinking about the impact of what she's saying on other people. Like, and in order to understand the impact of your words on other people, you have to go out of your way to educate yourself on how words impact different groups of people culturally. And that's something she has not taken the time to do. And she was been called out on this multiple times before. And she's not understanding why she keeps getting in trouble. It's because she doesn't do the correction when she's corrected, when she's told, this is insensitive. She goes, I'm not being insensitive. Like, yeah, really you are. Well, maybe that was a little insensitive. Oops, sorry, my bad. Move on. Next one, next one, next one, next one. But now she's saying she gets it. Okay. I hope so. I mean, I hope so. I hope she gets it now. Oh no. Melissa says, OMG, it's my mom. Oh no. I'm sorry. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. It's like Felissa, yeah, she gets right up to the point and then completely misses it. Absolutely. Jessica says, I give people the benefit of the doubt, but this is basic insults that is this day. Wait, I give people benefit of the doubt, but this is basic insults that in this day and age, no one can really claim ignorance. Yeah. I mean, you really have to. She hasn't made it a priority is what it comes down to. She hasn't made it a priority to be a better person. And she's saying now she will. Now she gets it. That's what she's saying.
Get it. But I get it. I know that I am a lot. What do they say? A strong cup of coffee? I'm more like a tequila shot. Okay. I'm a lot. But I am open to listening to criticism and really truly hearing it in the way that I.
Okay, so maybe she is now. She wasn't last week, but maybe she is now. Hopefully she is now. Hi, Audra. Hi, my friend.
I've handled some stuff is pretty immature. So what you need to know about me is that I care deeply about my brand. I care deeply about women in business and innovation. I care deeply about this community, and I care deeply about people.
Okay, so she has shown over and over and over again that she cares deeply about her brand. Absolutely. She cares more deeply about her brand than I think some people, I think that she cares equally the way that, like, I care about my children. That's the way she cares about Lashify. She will defend them to the ends of the earth. She will jump in front of a train for Lashify. She loves her brand and cares so deeply about her brand. She will throw herself under a bus to protect Lashify if she feels like it will protect that brand. So keep that in mind when we're listening to this apology. She will do anything for Lashify, right? She has shown that she cares deeply about women in business, women who start businesses. She talks about a lot on her website about defending other women founded brands from Chinese copycats, from people trying to people in China, brands in China trying to dupe other technologies like magnetic lashes. She has shown she is very passionate about that. Absolutely. Caring deeply about people. I would love to ask what people. That's what I would like to know. What people do you care about? Because for years you have shown you only care about people like you. So I don't know if this is a turning point where maybe she's opened her eyes and realized that she should care about people that aren't like her. But I think that's the crux of it. For me, I deeply care about people. You haven't shown that. You've only shown you care about people like you. So I think it's not that much further. So,
And my goal in life is to grow as a person and be a better person and to help others as well. So I'm committed to showing.
if her goal in life was to be a better person, she should have tried to be a better person after the Manny situation, after the Bethany situation. That was just the spring. That was just the spring. I mean, that one was a slightly different situation, but the Manny situation, I think, was a huge thing that she could have really learned and grown from that, and she did not.
Up differently with more humility and listening to you. And honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you. I want to thank those of you that called me out on my sort of irresponsible weighing of, it's really like an old school way of speaking. And again, impact versus intent. Thank you guys.
This feels very Shane Dawson to me. Does that feel Shane Dawson to you? It's like, it was an old way of speaking. It was an ignorant way of speaking. Girl.
Get it. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Okay, that's the end. That's it. That's the apology. So I'm curious to know what you all think. Cindy says if she was smart, she would hire a PR team and never make statements or videos on social media unless it's about the product. Stop doing these live streams. Stop doing this weird, like, she needs to hire like a sensitivity training person, like somebody that actually understands like cultures outside of just, like, I don't know what she says she is. She says she is a minority. I don't know what her nationality is. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. She's Iranian. Okay. She's an Iranian American CEO. Okay. That's very interesting. That caught me by surprise. Because you would think that someone from Iran, someone whose family's from Iran, would have more sensitivity. That really caught me by surprise. I'm shocked. I can't, like, really? Just as I have no thoughts because I would never purchase them and never will. Yeah. I hear you. And I will not be either. I actually still have my Pro Lash upstairs. I just need to I need to film my Pro Lash. It's gonna be my next like makeup review. My next review is the Pro Lash because my lashes are so tiny. They're so tiny. Cindy says if she cared deeply about women, why does she keep suing them? Great question. Excellent point, Cindy. Yeah. Yeah, Anna says she's giving me Gretchen Wiener vibes. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Yeah, I think she might. I think she might offend again. I think she just needs to I don't know how serious to take her because she's apologized before and hasn't done she needs to recognize that she has work to do. That's all it is. You have to recognize you have work to do. And that work then needs to be done. As someone who has tens of millions of dollars, there's no excuse. It's not like she has you know, I mean, I guess she is running Lashify, but it's like you have to have there has to be time. You have to figure out a way to make time to educate yourself. You have to. If it matters, that's the thing is if it matters. Take these off. If it matters, you will make the time. She has not made the time in the past. We'll see if she makes the time in the future. Ariane says, we've seen more popular people get canceled over an old way of speaking. Yeah. It's just, yeah. Cynthia says, Jen, can you release a marshmallow recipe book? I don't know if anybody would buy that. No, it would be interesting though. I could. Technically, I could. They really weren't that hard. They weren't that hard to make. The marshmallow base recipe that I use, this is off topic, was Epicurious. And if you go to the Epicurious recipe for coconut marshmallows, I cut back the sugar and I cut back, I think I mostly just cut back the sugar because they were too sweet. But I did modify it a little bit, but that'll get you most of the way there. It's not the exact Epicurious recipe because I messed with it, but that'll get you most of the way there to making really good marshmallows if you want to make some. But anyway, Jessica says, being an Iranian woman business owner makes your apology that much more calculated and disingenuous. Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get that at all. It's like, okay, I just wish that she would hire somebody to help her with this stuff that, someone that is good at this. And before she does anything, run it by that person. Everybody, in my opinion, everybody on social media that talks about sensitive topics in any way or owns a brand needs to have a person. Like for me, it's my husband, it's Audra, it's, different people in my life that I run certain things by before I put it out there. So for example, the James Charles piece that went live today, the first version of it was totally different. I was being such a hater, like such a hater. Like the whole thing, the whole premise of it was me being a hater. And I read through it and I was like, this is actually really mean. Like, I'm not a mean person. Why did I write this really mean piece? Like, what was my motivation to that? And I talked to my husband about it and I was like, why, like, what do you think about this? He didn't read the piece, but I just kind of gave him the summary on it. He was like, yeah, he's like, why can't you just talk about it mostly in the third person? Like, just present it and let other people be mean if they want to be mean. Like, you don't have to be mean. And I rewrote the piece and that's the piece that we have now. But if I hadn't had that conversation with my husband, I don't know if the piece would be as good as it is. It's so important to run ideas that you get that little twinge, like maybe this might not be a good idea, to have somebody that's more educated than you or someone just a second set of eyes. I can't tell you the number of times I've asked Audra to help me with pieces. I try not to. Unless I really need to. I try not to. Audra doesn't mind and has always helped me, but I try really hard not to use Audra for that. That's like, what percent of our friendship is me asking you dumb white lady questions? Audra's like maybe 5%, something like that. But every once in a while, it's really important to have somebody that has more expertise. Like when I reach out to Perry Romanowski of the Beauty Brains for chemistry questions, everybody has their different levels of expertise. And again, you can't understand a life you've never lived. So reaching out to people that have lived that life is really important. Or reaching out to people that are just better than you at certain things. My husband is just better at social stuff than I am. He's just better at it. So asking him questions about that stuff is really important. And I think that's what, thank you, Maudra. I love you. I love you, friend. I know you don't. I know you don't. But I think it's important that I don't, like, I only ask you that stuff when I really need it. Like, I don't want to ever overuse and over ask, because I would never want you to feel like I'm getting emotional, that's the reason for our friendship, because you mean a lot to me. So, but yeah, so people have accused me of that before, and I think that's why I'm getting emotional, because I just love Audra so much. But go check out Audra's YouTube channel, by the way, because they're doing amazing stuff over there with commentary and just crushing it. But anyway, I just love my friend. I never know when tears are gonna come. I think it's my I blame it on the ADD on that. But yeah, so anyway, my point is, I think Sahara, I keep saying her name wrong. I think it's Sahara. Sahara needs to have people, and that will help her, whether she needs to pay them or it's somebody that she knows that's unpaid. Reaching out to those people is really, really important, and letting, tamp down that ego. Tamp down the ego. You don't know everything. You can't know everything. And it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help, even if you get the slightest twinge that maybe this isn't something right. And she's been given enough education. She should know at this point, at least get that twinge when something isn't quite right, and ask somebody. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. I will continue to make mistakes. I'm sure she will as well. We all continue to make mistakes, but it is important to try, at least try. And one of those is using your resources, right? Oh, it's okay, my friend. Audra says, I know. Sorry, I've been off the grid. Love. I'm working. I know. Oh, I know. I completely understand. I don't take that personally at all. But we do need to touch base at some point, because I want to hear how you're doing. Possible perimenopause. Oh, absolutely. But I've always been like this. I've always been an emotional bitch. I've always been like, oh my gosh, we're out of time. For reals. Yes. Thanks, Teresa. I haven't felt like a good friendship like these past 6 months, though. Yeah. Oh, that's okay. Yeah. Don't worry about it. No, it's really like, sometimes friendships, I feel like you need to pause. Sometimes you just got stuff going on. And when you're really friends with somebody, like really friends, you can take pauses and everything is fine. Like when you're truly friends with somebody. So it's totally fine. Yeah, absolutely. There we go. I love this. Let's end on this. Flee air. I don't know how to pronounce with the accent mark. Don't let me be racist online. How about not be racist at all? Round of applause. Love that. Love that. How about we just all not be racist? Let's do that. Let's do that. Oh yeah, we should have you as a guest on chat. We got to figure something out. Let's make a plan to have you be a guest on chat. Audra's amazing. Let's do that. Oh, ritual defeat. I didn't know they were problematic. I don't know about that. All right, I gotta go. I gotta let the moderators go. Let you all go. Thank you so much for being here. As a reminder, everything is normal on the channel until we get to mid-July. Is it like the 18th, 19th, 20th in there? I'm going on a trip with my husband for our anniversary. So there is going to be a period of time. It's our 20-year anniversary. We don't go. Sometimes we don't do anything hardly for our anniversary, but because it's our 20-year, we're taking a trip to Colorado, to Rocky Mountain National Park. We're not going to France, or at least somebody said something last week how I brag about going on vacations. It's not like I'm like going to the lap of luxury somewhere. We're going to Colorado, man. Like, how is that a brag? It's our 20-year anniversary. Like, come on, let me live. But I do not take for granted that I do get to do this. A lot of people don't get to go on vacations because of their jobs, and I am very thankful that I get to do that. But please don't take it as bragging. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to tell you what's going on. So yes, that I will be gone. I'm not sure if it's 1 weekend or 2 weekends, but that's the next time things are going to be weird. Things are going to be normal till then. I was thinking about maybe doing, just because I don't have a Friday video ready for you, doing like an Ulta recommendations video for the sale, just like a little one-off, like this is what I would buy if I was shopping the Ulta sale video. Probably got not a ton of views, but that's okay. Like, just for anybody that wants to watch it. Maybe. I don't know. What do you think? I was thinking about maybe doing it. I might do it. I might not. It just kind of depends on how things shake out. I'm working on a video. Next deep dive is going to be not super deep, but it's going to be on, what you call it? Oh my gosh. Z Palette. On Z Palette. The rise and fall of Z Palette. It's a really fun little story. It's lighthearted. It's not that deep. It's a good one. So look forward to that next Friday. All right, mad love to you. I'll see you soon. Bye. Have a great week.